Hi, this is Diamond with Casting Vision. I wanted to reach out to you guys to speak to the particular business owners, small businesses, big businesses, ministries, things that you started that you wanted God to flourish and you wanted to be used by God and experience His glory and experience being a part of His plan. For all the small businesses that are already developed, and when you started everything, you sought the Lord and you got His guidance, and you were like, okay, I'm about to do it. I know that this is what God has called me to do. You did it. It flourished. It was going great in the beginning. And then all of a sudden, things just kind of started going downhill, or they kind of leveled out and they weren't really like reaping the harvest that you put from all the time and talent and everything that you put into the ministry. So I know, especially during this time with the epidemic going on with the coronavirus, there's a lot of businesses that are really being hit hard. Some are flourishing, some have to close temporarily until everything kind of comes back together, and you are just trying to find your place. You're trying to find, well, how can you thrive? How can you survive through this time? So I want to talk to those people in particular. First and foremost, I want to lay down the foundation. I always have to make sure that everyone knows that God is the foundation of your ministry. If He's not, make Him the source. And everything that comes after is the resource, because God is the person that needs to be in control in order for this to work. So I just want to be completely realistic with you. You're here to find out what can happen, what you need, what resources you need to make your business flourish. So here it is. That's what I'm giving you. Put God first. Put God first. God, is the main resource that you need to be successful in anything, not just business, but life in general, relationships, friendships, your work that you've been hired through a regular, company. You need God to make it through that. You need God to make it through dealing with difficult people. You need God. Everybody just needs Jesus. Let's just throw it out there. So now that we laid that foundation down, we're going to move forward. All the people that would like to build a business or a ministry, or they want to get something started, first I say write it down. Write it down. This is why I say write it down. It's not that you need something written down on paper for it to manifest. It's not that. The reason it's written down, first you have to change your perspective. God answers prayers. God He knows we receive the victory in this life before we knew it. It's the enemy that tries to come in and tell us and give us and put that fear in us to make us believe that we aren't successful entrepreneurs or, successful business owners or successful individuals. It's the enemy that does that. So knowing this, the reason you are writing it down, because you're needing to have something on paper that shows you, hey, when this happens, you're going to cross it out. You're going to put the date. That way, when the enemy tries to throw in your face, how are you going to make that happen? How are you going to figure this out? How are you going to afford this? How are you going to do that? Well, how are you going to have the time to do that? When he starts putting those things in your head, you're going to need something written down on paper that you can go back to and say, so I remember when God did this on this date. I prayed it on this day. It happened on this day. God done this. Even when it comes to things like about your family and, the prayers that you have, ask God for it. Write it down. Because when you write the vision, make it plain and manifest, not only does it help you, but it reminds you of all the things that God has done. That way you have no doubt that He will do it again, because God is consistent. He's consistent. So for the business owners that started the ministry out, God put it on your heart. That it was your calling. God placed it on you, and you knew that it's Him that said, hey, this is what I want you to do. And somehow it went downhill. Have you kept God first? Sometimes we remember that God is the author, but we forget that He's the finisher. We can start it with him, but we can't finish it without him. So you have to stay consistent. So if he is not first now, get him back first. Get him back in his place, which is first in your life, in everything. Do it now, because that's probably why things are happening the way that it's happening, because he's like, it's kind of like when you have a business deal. Say, for instance, you go into a business with a partner and you all have, ideas that jumped off of each other, and that partner that you had the funds to make it available. They had the resources to make it available, and you gave all your information and all your information, and then your partner put that money into it, and they did it, and they expected one thing, and then later you forgot about your partner. And your partner put all the work in there. Your partner put all the money, all the time, and everything to make it work. And then somehow you were so into yourself that you forgot. That's kind of like how it is with God. He's our partner. He's our father. Not only is he our partner, but he's our father, and he wants to be first. So go back into that business deal with Jesus and start fresh. Whether it's, you repenting and saying, okay, God, I'm putting you back in this, or it's you saying, I got to make this happen. So again, this is Diamond with Casting Vision. I love you guys. I am always praying for you and with you about your family and about your businesses and about your success in your future in general. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys. Bye-bye.